Shalom everybody, welcome back. We are continuing where we left off in Rav Noson's discourse in the Likutey Halakhot, section Orach Chaim, the laws of Hoda'ah, Birkat Hoda'ah, the laws of giving thanks, blessings of thanksgiving, discourse number 6. We're now beginning a new section, 26, where now Rav Noson is going to go into the response of the angel to Yaakov. This is from Parashat Vayishlach in the book of Bereshit, chapter 32, where now Yaakov, like we said, we left off saying he forces the angel to bless him. Okay, let's take a look at the verses that Rav Nosson is going to be going into. Verse 28, Parashat Vayishlach, chapter 32. Vayomer elav ma shemecha. The angel said to Yaakov, "What is your name?" Vayomer Yaakov, and he said, "My name is Yaakov." Verse 29, V'yomer lo Yaakov ya'amer od shimcha ki im Yisrael. So the angel said to Yaakov, not Yaakov, ya'amer od will be said more, will be called out more your name. In other words, your name will no longer be Yaakov, ki im Yisrael. Rather, your name will be called Yisrael. Why Yisrael? So the verse gives the reason. The angel gives the reason in the verse. Kisarita im Elohim ve'im anashim v'tuchal, because you were able to overcome, overpower, overrule with angels, which he calls Elohim, and people, referring to Lavan and Eisav, v'tuchal, and you succeeded. Let's take a look at Rashi, because Rashi is very important to understand. And with all this, we can introduce what Rav Nosson is going to get into Bezrat Hashem. So Rashi reads on verse 29, Lo Yaakov, he reads like this, Lo Ya'amer od shabrachot ba'u lecha be'okva urimiyah. It will be no longer said that the blessings came to you by cheating and playing games with your father Yitzchak. When Yitzchak was blind, if you remember Parshat Toldot, so it seemed that Yaakov was stealing, quote unquote, stealing the blessings that Eisav was supposed to get, due to Rivka, her interceding and patching up Yaakov with the hairs of the garments of Eisav and preparing the food to bring into Yitzchak to pretend as if he's Eisav and to get the brachas like in a stealing, trickery matter. So he's saying your name, the angel was basically saying to Yaakov now, it will no longer be said that the blessings came to you because of your name Yaakov, which means Ekev. Ekev means on one hand a heel, but it also means akava, where a person is trying to avoid matters discreetly. So it's considered like the heel, like he's turning on the heel on a different direction, not openly, not straightforward, but in a trickery, having to like a wayward, different way to get across to accomplish things. So that's what Yaakov initiates. That's what it seems to infer. And the angel saying your name will no longer be Yaakov, as if to say that the blessings came to you. You didn't deserve them, but you got them because you did all types of green cards and everything to pass through to get the blessings. And the trickery. Ki'im bisrara vegilu panum. Rather like a coronation of a minister, getting someone inducted into a higher level. That's how you get the blessings. Gili panim, in front of everybody. Vesovcha, and Rashi is quoting the Midrash, and in the end, Hakadosh Baruch Hu nigle alecha bebeit el. Hashem is going to reveal Himself to you when you come back to the Holy Land, because at this time Yaakov was on the way back to Eretz Yisrael. In this Parsha Vayishlach, he's on the way back, leaving Lavan, heading back to his homeland, the Holy Land, specifically to Beit El, where Yaakov promised that he would offer a sacrifice there. So he's saying, the angel said, I'm revealing a secret. You should know that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to reveal Himself to you there in Beit El, and He there is going to change your name from Yaakov to Israel. And there He'll bless you. V'ani sham eyeh ve'odeh lecha lehen. And I will be there, and I will admit and consent to the blessings that Hashem will give to you then. V'zeu shekatuv. This is also the meaning of what it says in the book of Hosea, where the prophet Hosea in chapter 12 is also, verse number 5, also giving an account of what happened with Yaakov and the angel, to show that Hashem was helping Yaakov to fight the angel. Vayasar el malach vayuchal. The verse reads in Hosea chapter 12, and Yaakov was able to become overpower the angel vayuchal, and he succeeded. Bacha vayitchanen lo, and the angel cried to Yaakov, begging him. So Rashi explains, Bacha malach vayitchanen lo. The angel was crying to Yaakov and he was pleading with him. Uman itchanen lo. What was he pleading? The remaining part of the verse there. Verse 5 again in Hosea. The angel said to Yaakov, Beit El yimtzaenu v'sham yidaber imanu. Beit El is where Hashem will find you there. V'sham yidaber, and there Hashem will speak with us. I will be there also. So in other words, see Rashi's bringing all this from the Midrash. The angel's begging Yaakov, don't let me say the blessing now. Hamten li ad shedaber imanu sham. Wait for me until Hashem will speak to us there public in front of the other angels. I will be there also. Velo ratza Yaakov. And Yaakov didn't want that. Va'al korcho hodalo alehen. And against the angel's will, that's why he was crying, it was against his will. He admitted to the blessings over here already at this point in Parashat Vayishlach after wrestling with the angel. V'zeu v'avarech oto sham. And this is why the verse reads, coming up, verse 30 in this Parashat, Vayishlach chapter 32, verse 30, it ends, v'avarech oto sham, and the angel blessed him there. You know, why do I care for the extra word there? Well, I know that's there. To show you even before Beit El, the angel of Eisav already blessed Yaakov. Shaya mitchanen lamtin lo velo ratza. He was begging Yaakov to wait for him, and he didn't want. Okay? Then the rest of the next Rashi, which is on what the angel said, you were able to fight angels and men, anashim. What is men? Rashi says Eisav and Lavan, Eisav the wicked and Lavan. Vatuchalahem, and you overpowered them. So now we have to just explain some things in order to understand what Rav Nosson is going to explain. Rav Nosson made a point, and this is such an important point, and you see it fits in the parsha perfectly, that it's so important that the evil turns itself into blessing. To agree to the blessings is the idea of transforming sadness and depression, which was the mission of the angel of Eisav, to turn that into joy. Okay? What's the other option? The other option is what the angel was begging and requesting Yaakov. He's saying, I don't want to give a bracha now. Why? Because it's too much of a big thing to ask that I be transformed into blessing, into simcha, by giving you the blessing now. Rather, when Hashem blesses you, then I will agree. Yaakov, this is one of the biggest chidushim Rav Nosson is trying to show us, why it's such a big thing. Yaakov wanted something bigger. He wanted already, before Hashem gives the blessing and then the evil says the okay and agrees with it, Yaakov wants that the evil of its own initiative agree to the blessings, which is this concept of turning the sadness and melancholy into joy. Yaakov was going further. He was so concerned for the last generations, us, the weak people before Mashiach comes, which is the idea of the angel hitting Yaakov on his waist, on the sciatic nerve, which is on the legs, the leg area, which is associated with the name Yaakov, because the Yaakov is the heels on the feet, part of the leg area, and the leg area of Yaakov corresponds to these last generations of his descendants, us, right before Mashiach comes. The end part of Yaakov's descendants, which in taking the whole picture of Yaakov Avinu's physical body and its spiritual representation, refers to the legs, is referring to us, the last generations, the weak people are the feet, the bottom, the low levels of spirituality that we're facing today. That's us, to help us overcome the attacks of Eisav's angel, which is the attacks of sadness and depression and futility and frustration that people are going through today. How did Yaakov help? By forcing the angel of Eisav to give the bracha, So he's forcing a meaning that no matter how low we fall, there is a way out thanks to the power and the merit of Yaakov, which is the idea of the tzaddikim. The tzaddikim go out of their way to make an opening that we have within our ability to transform sadness and depression into joy no matter what. No matter what the situation, there's a way out if we want to. This we mentioned in previous classes. Everything's based on your free will. Once you choose that you want, the evil cannot stand in your way. He can try to persuade you, to convince you, but you give the final line. You give the final signature. That's how it works. So Yaakov was able to overcome that. So this is why the angel begged him, no, I don't want to bless you now. I don't want to be transformed into joy by blessing you, like we said in the previous class. Let's wait for Hashem to bless you then, and then I'll bless you. So Yaakov said, no. This concept of turning sadness and depression into joy is so big and so important that I want to activate it. Okay, it's not on the schedule. The schedule that Hashem, because the Midrash says also that the angel knew he's going to get in trouble for revealing to Yaakov that Hashem is going to bless him and change his name to Yisrael. And again, the name Yisrael, Rav Nosson is going to go into the details, but I just want to focus on this point, that this was a secret. And Yaakov, and the angel was scared that he's going to get in trouble for revealing the secret. Okay? So it was planned. Okay, there was a secret in this, that fine, that Hashem will change your name to Israel, and the angel will agree. Yaakov, because of his righteousness, his simcha in life, that all the suffering he went through, was able to transform it all to joy, whatever what he went through with Dinah and Yosef, and when he lost Rachel, and when he suffered with Binyamin, everything that he went through, and was able to still be a positive forefather, the biggest of the forefathers, Yaakov Avinu, okay? So he wanted to activate something which was not part of the picture. Hashem allows tzaddikim, through their good desire, to change the course of what Hashem has presented and coming our way. The tzaddikim, with their free will, they can tap into levels they did not even know existed and activate them. This Rabbi Nachman once said that he had no idea, no clue what was out there, and to show the power of hitbodedut and the devotion to Hashem, what you can accomplish, then technically you can change the plans of Hashem, as if to say, Hashem allows the tzaddikim to bypass what he has prepared and planned, as if to say, and make a new change which will be much more beneficial, new opening. This is what Yaakov was after. So this explains all the commentaries. You don't see really anyone who gives a good explanation. So why are you crying so much? You would think he's crying because he wants to sing. It can't be enough, because the verse says, Bacha vayitchanen lo. He's making a big deal. The angel, please wait, Yaakov. When you reach Beit El, Hashem will be there. He'll bless you and change your name from Yaakov to Yisrael. I'll be there and I'll agree. Yaakov said, no, I want you to bless me now. Why? Why so? Why Yaakov, you're so burning? And why, angel, you're so burning for waiting? Yaakov is burning to have the blessing now, because now that he's submitted the angel of Eisav, he's in a good position. I want you now. I've submitted you. I want now an opening for my future descendants. I want you to bless me now. I want to transform you to happiness. You being the epitome of sadness and melancholy, the angel of Eisav. I want you to bless me to be transformed into simcha. You blessing me is a simcha attitude, because only someone happy will bless, and it'll be from all the heart. That means I'm transforming you into simcha as you are. And not to wait, okay, once Hashem gives the okay, then I'll bless. No, I want you to be transformed as you are now, the angel of Eisav, doing your mission, to submit me, to hit me on my thigh, my sciatic nerve, to bring sadness and depression to my descendants. I want you now to be transformed. So this opening exists for all my future children. Now that you've hit me, so now we're going to activate your bracha, you're transforming into simcha, so that my descendants can have access to this no matter how low they fall, no matter what a Jew goes through. If he chooses, if he has free will, with his free choice, he can choose to transform the situation into happiness and not say, okay, I'm stuck, I'm doomed, I'm at a point of no return. No. In the merit of Yaakov activating the brachot from the angel now and not to wait to get to Beit El. So this enables that any Jew, no matter how low he's fallen, Yaakov has already he has prepared us with a scenario that we can get out of. This comes to show you again how much you need tzaddikim in your life. You need the help and the assistance. You're not a tzaddik. You admit I'm not a tzaddik. So what to do? If you connect and attach yourself to the tzaddikim at the caliber of Yaakov Avinu, you have always a way out. There's no dead-end situation. And if chas v'shalom people do face dead-end situations, it's because they weren't honestly and sincerely following the advice of the tzaddikim. It's like Rav Avram ben Rav Nachman, he said about Rav Nosson. Avram ben Rav Nachman was a 4th generation Breslever. His father was a student of Rav Nosson. He said that Rav Nosson received more than anybody else from Rabbi Nachman because he nullified himself totally to Rabbi Nachman, to receive from him. Rav Nosson was an accomplished Torah scholar. That's why his father not chose him. He was knowledgeable in halacha. He was wealthy, stature. He knew how to write. He knew how to express. He knew mathematics. He was a genius. He could have been a Rebbe if he wanted to. He pushed everything aside to receive from Rabbi Nachman. Rabbi Nachman had other students. They didn't have that nullification. That's why they weren't worthy to do what Rav Nosson did in passing on Rabbi Nachman's light. So too it is that the more you receive from a tzaddik, but you put your personal ideas on the side in order to receive, so then the tzaddik, his light, his advice, his Torah, can enter you to help you to get out of the most crazy situations. You see other people falling, and it's only on that one thing. They weren't super nullified. When you speak to them, they had their ideas and their haughtiness and their opinions and everything, and you say to yourself, poor guy, let's see where he's going to get to in life, and you see people like that crash. Whereas people who maintain super duper humility and bitul and are aware that I don't know the real truth, I don't know, and they follow the guidelines and advice of the tzaddikim full-heartedly, even though they're simple people, and according to how way things are planned and planning to go in looking direction, that person's going to crash. Somehow they make it. Why somehow they make it? Because their tmimut and pshitud, their simplicity and sincerity and honesty and straightforward emunah in the tzaddikim and the teachings allows the advice of the tzaddikim to penetrate them so much so that they can get out of even the worst scenarios, the worst situations. Whereas other people who don't have that straightforward connection, they get lost. They have their own ideas and convolutions and this, and they get trapped, boom, 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 they fall off. So this was just an introduction to the next section. Just let's see inside what Rav Nosson says. So Rav Nosson quotes the verse we just read, right? Vayomer lo Yaakov yamer od shimcha kim Yisrael. The angel said to Yaakov, he said, the name Jacob will no longer be your name. In other words, be your main name. You're still called Yaakov, Jacob. Right? We say Yaakov in the Davani, Avraham and Yitzhak and Yaakov. Your main name will no longer be Yaakov, ki im Yisrael. Your main name is Israel. Why? Ki sarita im Elohim v'im anashim v'tocha. Because you're able to battle and fight angels, Elohim, or the angel-like creatures, could be in singular also. V'im anashim, and if people, like Yarashi pointed out, Lavan and Eisav, v'tuchal, and you were able to overcome them. So here, like Rav Nosson is saying, like we said earlier, shehodah lo al kol zeh, that the angel agreed to the wishes of Yaakov, to bless him and to be transforming the sadness and melancholy into joy. V'amar lo Yaakov yamer od shimcha, your name will no longer be Yaakov. Shei bechinat sheshlecha od milchama im bechinat haraglim. We're going to go into this in the next class. It explains what does it mean that your name will no longer be Yaakov, that you will no longer have a battle with the concept, the area of the legs, which is the feet, which is where Yaakov, which is the ekev, the heel, is located. We'll stop here to continue for the next bridge of this idea. And again, your feedback and comments are always appreciated. You can reach me by WhatsApp only, private message only, +1 732 800 1863. Thank you, shalom, and ktiva v'chatima tova. May everybody be sealed and inscribed of the books in the books of the true tzaddikim, and may we have the merit of being by Rabbi Nachman for this coming Rosh Hashanah. Shalom, shalom.